Good morning. So my name is Brice. I'm the PE teacher at Aoba Japan International School, and here is my mentor, Miss Ikeura.
My name is Hari Kara, and I'm currently teaching grade 1 at Aoba Japan International School.
So today we having our first meeting, and we are supposed to talk about few things. So first of all, as you know, I'm teaching PE from K3 to grade 2. And I've been in this school for about 2 years, working as a PE teacher, 3 years altogether. And I will be having Missy Kyora's class, which is a grade 1 student, once a week. So right now we are in February month, so we are half year. We started the second semester 2 weeks ago. So I'm in my unit 4. My students right now are doing basketball for unit 4. So um, I will start to teach the lesson in 1 week and a half, and we will have assessment during my first class. Student will be practicing. I've been practicing, basketball for about 2 weeks, and the final week is usually the week of assessment during this unit.
Okay. So you explained that in your first week of student teaching, you will be assessing these kids. So can you tell me a little bit about the unit that you're working on, what they're being assessed on?
Yeah, sure. Um, First of all, I need to tell you more about the conceptual understanding and the central ID. So it's very simple. The central ID is being part of the team is more than being a simple player. So they have to understand that playing by team is very important, and for that we're focusing on different conceptual understanding, which is, I wrote that down. Participation in a group can require group members to take on different roles and responsibilities. So out of that, we're going to have different learning objectives, such as basketball skills, which are required, but also recognize the different group role of everyone, the responsibilities that everybody has in a group. We need to assume those responsibilities, and also we need to celebrate when the group is working well. So that's the four main objectives that we're gonna have.
Okay.
So to do so, we have been working from the first week on basketball skills and key vocabulary in order to understand the role and responsibility of each student.
Okay. So is it correct for me to assume that the assessment will be all skill based? So is there any written assessment, or what kind of in what format is the assessment?
Yeah,
Will it be skill based?
Actually, I always do both. So we have a skill-based assessment, and we always have the comprehension of the game assessment. So let's be clear, it's PE, so we need to have a skill-based assessment. It starts with the pre-assessment the first week. We need to see where students are in terms of physical skills and game skills. Then we can adapt the game according to their needs. Then they have a formative assessment for sure the second week. And the final week is always a summative assessment. It's always the same. We have one part which is based on specific skills such as passing, shooting, and dribbling.
So you'll be going around to assess and marking them against a rubric or something like that.
Exactly, and we have stations. We have different stations that allows me to walk around and to see what they can do, actually. And we also have a comprehension assessment and the use of key vocabulary, and that is a little bit more complex. I can see what they do and how they understand the game through group discussion and peer assessment. We usually have those peer assessments and student assessment in general each class, where they provide feedback to their friends, what went well, what we have to improve, and just by hearing what they're saying, it allows me to see if they use adequately the vocabulary, if they understand it.
So how do you make sure that you are able to assess every student's conceptual understanding and their um,
I have to walk around for 5-10 minutes when we have a small
discussion?
group discussion, and I have to listen to everybody.
So you do give everybody an opportunity to, you do ask every student, because or else you will only get an indication of how some of the students
Yeah,
are understanding. But in order to get a good grasp of everybody's development,
actually,
their conceptual understanding, you do have to walk around to
yeah,
ask every student, or you need to have a different format that would require everybody to demonstrate that understanding, the level of understanding to
yeah,
you.
you're totally right. I have different formats. So
Okay.
there is one main group discussion where everybody is talking, but you also have the small group discussion. And for example, on passive skills, how to improve the skill of your friend and your own skills, you have a team of two and they discuss how can we use the ball to better throw the ball to our friend, and everybody has the chance to use the key vocabulary and to explain a possibility to improve their work. So at this time you have about, as your class is about 14 students, I think
You have 15.
15, sorry,
Mhm.
you have already 7 groups.
Mhm.
So 7 groups. So I need to walk in 7 different groups to hear what they're sharing.
So how do you document their oral um, contribution?
I have a rubric for that.
But that's your assessment, your evaluation. But how do you record what they've contributed, what they have explained? Um, so, say for example, after you have given the summative assessment, um, say if you're providing feedback to your students, or maybe when you report to the parents, they might ask, okay, so how have um, how has so and so demonstrated a basic understanding of the conceptual understanding, and for you to be able to provide the evidence, that is something to consider as well. How are you going to document their contributions, especially when it's given orally? Um, so that's something to think about as well.
I usually grade them, but I don't have like iPad or video
Mm.
proof.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's something to consider. So you will have my students. You will have 15 of my students. What are um, some routines that you have in place already? Um, what's working well? What's something that you might consider changing? What are some routines that you already have in place?
Well, as it's already half a year, I would say that students are already ready to follow the rules, and yeah, the class is very easy for them now. We have this white line inside the gym. They know that when they come in the gym, they go straight on this white line
Okay.
or the black line according to different activities.
Mm-hmm.
I use a lot of teaching transition, such as eyes on me or the hands, physical movement because we're in PE. I have a whistle. They know how the whistle is working. I would say they are used to it. And at the beginning of the year, we had for sure an essential agreement. So we discussed about what students are expected to do in this class. Um, we came up with a motto. They know the rules. First rule in PE, listen to the teacher. The second one, practice hard. And the third one, have fun.
Okay.
So that's their motto.
So those are the expectations of the class,
Yeah.
and everybody is aware of that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it says here, can you share with me the learning standards that you are hoping to um, hit or target for the lesson that you will be teaching?
My learning standard?
Oh, this is for the TASC?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first week, you will be focusing on student development.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for the first week, and for the weeks to come, I will be using the the Teach Now program rubric.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. There are 10 standards, I believe, that you are already aware of.
Yep.
And so I'll be using the same rubric that is used by your instructor to evaluate each of your lessons.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a little bit challenging because there is a lot.
Yeah, it is. But okay, so going back to your first week, the lesson for the first week, and
Mm-hmm.
you shared with me the learning outcomes. Is there anything else that you would like me to be aware of, that you want me to know about the unit that you have already started, and what?
No, I can just say that in our school, like one unit is 6 weeks, and in PE, in one unit we have 2 blocks. One block is 3 weeks. So once basketball will be finished with your student, we will start a new game, and that, as we are focusing on group game, and according to the facilities of the school, we will start a new sport which is related to body balance and relay. So we're gonna
Okay.
have group work.
So is this the second block of this unit, or is this the first block of the unit?
Basketball is the first block of the unit.
So I will be observing that.
You will be observing the end of the block 1, and then the 12 following weeks, which is the end of unit 4, all my unit 5.
Okay.
So you will see 4 different sports.
Okay, so then when you assess the summative assessment for basketball, that's not going to be that's only halfway through the unit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So their conceptual understanding probably would not be as deep as it would be at the end of your 6-week unit. Okay.
Exactly.
So will you have a similar assessment at the end of your second block to assess them on the same conceptual understanding? The skill is going to be different, obviously, because
going to be different
because you're teaching a different sport for the second half, but at the same time, the conceptual understanding of them being a team player and working in a team and their role in a team, that would remain the same. Is that right?
Basically, but it will be pushed a little bit further, and I expect students to have better grade usually on the second block.
So would the rubric for the conceptual understanding remain the same, or the rubric itself will be different?
The rubric will be different.
Okay, and what is the purpose behind that?
Just to challenge them.
Okay, all right, okay.
Because as we know, having a high expectation is very important. So
okay, but these are the same central.
Yeah, it's the same central.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
So maybe the indicators will change.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
I will share all of that with you.
Thank you.
You will have it.
Okay, thank you. Looking forward to it.
All good?
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Bye bye.